school, and what do you like the least?
I know what I like best about law school. I like the intelligence factor that you gain from going to law school. I think Ted earlier, the analogy was about superheroes is spot on. I feel like a law degree in some ways makes you kind of invincible in that you can have any problem present itself to you, and you are then able to think critically, research efficiently, and come up with more than one solution and more than one way around what it is, whatever problem comes your way. If you are having a housing problem, whether it's a contract, whether it's law enforcement issues, any single problem that you have, I just feel that a law degree trains you to think critically and think on a higher level than I've ever thought before. And I feel invincible in that, I know that I can conquer any problem.
What I don't like about it? You're not getting off.
It's tough. I think that I remember after graduating from applied math from UCLA, I was like, yes, I accomplished something. I worked so hard to get that math degree and from UCLA, and then I went to law school. My first week, I thought, how was I so unproductive in all my hours of studying for that math degree? I think that is, a good and a bad, that I was like, wow, I did not realize how tough it was going to be. I didn't realize how many cases I would have to be briefing. I did not realize how much law school would have asked of me. But I'm very thankful that, there's a community to help you get through that.
Well, Stephanie completely stole everything that I was going to say, but so I guess I'll go to my second most favorite and second least favorite piece of law school. So there's the personal growth piece, which is wonderful. It's amazing, and when you're in law school, and for me, I'm in my last year of law school, and so I look back at just a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I wasn't even the same person at all. I don't think about things the same way. But the second thing that I really cherish and love about law school is the community. It's really amazing how many superheroes are out there. How many good people there are in law school, and how many people there are out there that have different backgrounds that come from different places than you, but that think very similarly to you. And law school kind of channels and focuses the way you think about the world. It kind of spits you on the other end. I think we all kind of think like lawyers, but it's amazing the people you meet, and it's one of those things that going through law school I realized that I've really opened myself up to the world just through the connections I've made. And the least favorite thing. That's actually a tougher question, because when you think critically about everything in law school, there really isn't a lot of drawbacks. It's really tough with Stephanie, and I think we've all mentioned law school is not easy, but I guess I would say that the toughest thing for me, the thing I dislike the most is the way that your one-on classes are taught in the first couple of weeks, when you get called out in front of everyone and you're really nervous, and then you say something, and it's really one of those things where in the first 3 weeks there is no right answer for any student, because even if you briefed the case perfectly, you have all the facts, your teacher will call you, your professor will call on you, you'll say everything, you're like, yes, you're looking over at your fellow students, you're winking, everyone's looking at you like, wow, that was amazing, and then the professor's like, that's completely wrong, and goes off on another tangent, and you just feel really small. But that's part of the process, and I didn't appreciate it at first, but this is what I mean is, looking back on it now, I realize that it's a humbling piece that helps you understand that you can't look at a case enough. There's always some other little angle to look at it, and that's really what your professors are trying to instill in you at the start.
Wow, it's hard to follow those up.
I think my favorite thing about law school so far would be, aside from the personal growth aspect, because I really like that, I think it's a little bit of something that I struggle with also. I personally don't consider myself a very outspoken person. I am typically shy. I don't know how I ended up on this panel. In any case, I think it's a great exposure. It's a great place for me to build my people skills, not just in the classroom, but also out there networking. There's a lot of networking. And I think it's great to meet a lot of people, not just my fellow students, but also attorneys, people who share things in common with me other than law school. It's a great eye-opening thing. But as for my least favorite, I think, yeah, it's a challenge balancing things in law school. What I don't like would have to be the load of work in terms of how it kind of keeps me away from people that I care about, especially with my family. I notice that I don't really talk to them as much as I should be or as much as I used to. I don't get to see them a lot, or I'm not really as involved in a lot of family events. And it's a sacrifice having law school and trying to be everything that you were before law school, but I think it's something that I'm still learning to work with, and I think that it's important that even though there is so much work to do, there's a lot of things that you have on your plate, that you make time for family, make time for your friends and for the people who were there for you before law school.